Well, hello everybody, and welcome back to another great episode of Crypto and Dad Jokes. Here with my amazing co-host Robert. Robert, how are you?
Two Roberts, and we are both good.
Two Roberts. You are so good. There's two of you.
If I was any better, I'd be twins. Oh, what
Not
do you
even the
want?
multiverse. Be twins. Hey, question for you.
Sir, yes, sir.
So, I was I was kind of wondering a little bit earlier. What kind of car do sheeps drive?
Probably
Subaru.
Lamborghinis. Oh, dang it.
Oh man.
Subaru is pretty good.
Thank you.
I feel like that was double win right there.
It really was. You're witty. That was good on your part.
That was not pre-planned or pre-recorded.
That was awesome. That was pure awesomeness that everybody just experienced right there.
Well, good. Yeah, that was a self-inflicted dad joke. So,
uh, I figure we would jump in today. We would kind of talk a little bit about the ETFs that you have on your screen there.
yeah,
Uh,
it was
what happened with
approved.
like a little bit of the price charts, the action, what we think, what our reaction or what we thought was going to happen, and what actually really happened, and what your
Yeah,
thoughts were or your emotions were on something like that. So,
yeah.
um,
You, I'll jump in first if you don't mind there, Travis.
yeah,
Um, I felt like I was a little bit surprised at the market, and looking back, maybe I shouldn't have been, but I really thought, it was gonna at least do a pretty good pump, at least Bitcoin for, I mean, I don't know, it was at like what, 46, 47, and then the ETF got announced and then it was approved, and it seemed like it just went backwards. It just went down after that. Or it was kind of level and then just like started tanking. And in fact, you and I talked earlier today that we both were scooping up some like altcoins because it's like, man, everything is down. Picked up some XRP down at like 54, 53 cents.
53 cents.
Yeah, I jumped into some Avalanche, which I'd like to talk about a little bit later.
Yeah.
But I think I've heard this phrase before. They say you buy the rumor and sell the news. So that what that means is basically the build up to an event sometimes gives you more gain than the actual event. And I've heard people call when an event happens and it doesn't move the price, they call it a nothing burger. So and that's, I mean, honestly, that seemed like that's what it was. Because what was it, Thursday last week that the ETF was like good to go and everything, and it seemed like from there it just was like,
Yeah, I was gonna say, I think we woke up Friday expecting like it to hit the markets, like markets
yeah,
live, and it was
it
like,
was
oh, where were you
bonkers.
when the markets went live on that morning? It was like, well, I was watching my phone, but nothing much really. It didn't
Yeah,
really. Yeah.
but then I moved to TikTok because the market was boring. Yeah, and that was, I mean, it at the time I was surprised, but looking back, and I actually mentioned this to you earlier today, but it kind of makes sense that all these like big money VC people that now have a little bit easier access to Bitcoin are just like, hey, let's just bomb this thing so we can scoop some up in the 42,000 range before it launches off to, you know, 200K or whatever it's going to do in this bull run. So, I mean, that makes sense while they're like trying to suppress the price, push it down, whatever, and
Hmm.
get better buys. So that's, but still, I mean, still myself, I was just like, wow. And then I read articles that say that there's like all these billions of dollars flowing into the Bitcoin ETF and everything. I'm like, well, why didn't the price go up?
Yeah.
Why'd it go backwards?
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. How come it's not going? How come it's not going up? But
yeah,
I had expressed that earlier too. I was like, why are the markets all red? Everything's red.
yeah,
And I think you kind of hit the nail on the head. We talked about you called it swimming with the whales. So
yes,
when some of the bigger corporations and stuff decide to scoop up a lot of Bitcoin, and then the altcoins go crazy after that, we have a little bit that we're able to go ahead and swim with them, and that's when we ride those waves, those big waves also, and that's when you'll make a lot of money.
yeah, and
Hopefully.
it just makes sense because the big money is kind of what makes the the world go round, honestly. And so if you're following where the big money is going in crypto, you're easily able to, like exactly like you said, swim with the whales.
Yes. Yes. So I saw, so yeah, we were talking about it. I looked at it. I saw XRP was down to 53 cents. I was like, wow, everything's down. So I had Stellar Lumens. I saw it was down to 11, 10 cents. XRP
Yeah.
was, Cardano was down. Polygon
Yeah.
was, I mean, everything was down. Polygon, I like Polygon. Cardano.
Yeah.
Um,
Cardano was down below my average purchase price for Cardano. So I was like, well, I'm buying some more of that.
yeah.
So
Then I scooped up more XRP and I'm not
same.
depressed about it. Like, I'm like, wow, this is more time for me to accumulate more before we go
Hmm.
off to the moon. Um,
Yeah. And there still may be more chances like this. There may be, for whatever reason, other opportunities to jump in for dips in certain coins or even the market in general. So I think it's, at this stage of the game, something I've considered, I haven't done it yet, is just, every paycheck I usually buy crypto, but maybe for now, or when prices start going up a little bit, just put money into like USDC or just into my Coinbase account, not specifically purchasing a crypto. That way, if something does dip, or put some limit buys in or something, so that if something does dip, then you can scoop it up and make more gains on it.
I was thinking the limit buys. I like the idea of the limit buys, and I've actually had a lot of
Yeah.
success with those in the past since the video that we put out not too long ago about the limit buys. Um,
Yeah, it's cool. And I even messaged you on Wednesday. I was traveling for work and got to my destination and pulled up my phone and had a email that said your Filecoin order was filled. And I was like, oh man, I dropped that pretty low. That's cool. And just, I mean, it executed while I was just, driving down without me having to watch the markets. And it had already recovered some since then. So I was like, yeah, that's a really cool use case for the limit buy. So
so fast. It happens so fast too. It just chops.
yeah,
You're like bought it and then
yeah, being bygone.
my God. So yeah, I bought XRP when it was in the red. I felt good about it. You were
Same.
talking to me a little bit about AVAX, and I'd never even heard of AVAX. How did you
Yeah.
hear about it?
So Avalanche, it seemed Avalanche is the uh, blockchain. The code for it is AVAX, AVAX, and it's similar to Ethereum. It came out kind of along the same lines, same timeline as Solana, and it's just basically another Web3 platform to build, create NFTs. They call it a Ethereum competitor, basically. So it's doing the same thing that Ethereum is. It's looking to be like another layer to the internet, Web3, and basically just a space to build decentralized applications to, like I said, NFTs and things like that. So basically it's like another Ethereum, Solana, Cardano, just these layer one blockchains that, and maybe it's a little bit of FOMO because I feel like I missed out on Solana because it just went bonkers. And so I was like, we'll jump in and try some AVAX. It was down like 10 or 12% when I looked at it this morning. So I was like, I'll just jump in a little bit. Nothing huge, but just try it out. Why not?
Yeah, why not? So, and there's
Diversify.
nothing wrong with that. Like, dumping a little bit of money. Well, I mean, what is AVAX at currently? Do you know?
I want to say like $35 or something. I know I didn't put a lot in, so it was like barely one token. So
And that's not bad. I mean, you're just exploring other assets and seeing what could be good and what might not be
yeah.
good. And
And one thing I like about that is it kind of gives you an opportunity. Like if you just have a little bit, like say $10, $20, $30, whatever, you can put it into a specific project when it dips, and you're like, hey, I don't want to miss out on this or whatever. It kind of quenches your FOMO, you might say, and then you have a little bit in there. You don't have your life savings in there, so if it's not ride or die with your whole life. It's just kind of ride or die with a little bit of money, and then you also aren't being like, oh, I missed out on all those gains. You still have something in there. But yeah, right now it's at 32.71. When I looked at it, it was down around the 31-ish, 31.50 range. So I think I did $30. So I didn't do quite one full avalanche, which is silly. I probably just bought a full one, but yeah, didn't
you
really
know what
think
you
it
had,
through. So.
you did what you had at the time, and that was it, right? You're like, we'll see where it
Yeah.
goes. So
Yeah, and so that's kind of something cool, like you had talked about. We it is a little bit sad that we didn't get this huge jump, but at the same time, it's it's an opportunity, to be like, okay, it's not up, buy more, you know.
Yeah,
We've talked about sometimes you will set a limit buy and you're like, "Ah, I just don't know if it's ever going to get filled. And this is to me is kind of an indication like just leave your limit buys in there when they're low because you never know. Something could happen and boom, gets filled. So
could happen in the middle of the night. It could happen at 3 a.m. in the morning when you're asleep. Wake up and like, hey, guess what? Your limit order was fulfilled. So like,
yeah. And it could be 2 months from now. Like what if you set a limit buy on, let's say XRP, what's that, 54, 55 right now?
I think it's sitting at 55 cents right now. Yeah.
So let's say you put a limit buy in at 49 cents, right? And all of a sudden everything starts climbing. It's like up to 60, 62, 65. You're like, oh geez, 49 is never going to happen. You never know. All of a sudden, a different president gets elected in Guam and that changes the market for some reason. And then it just tanks. So I think I'm leaning more towards as I get into limit buys a little more, just leaving them, leave them low. And if you don't fill them now, I mean, the bear market, you're definitely going to fill some limit orders. So,
Uh-huh.
but yeah, what did you buy?
I bought into XRP. I decided I was gonna scoop up some more XRP. And then I bought a little bit more Stellar Lumens.
Okay, nice,
Lumens was
excellent.
down.
Yeah,
Um, I think Lumens has got a lot of potential.
yeah, I think so.
Um,
I also bought Cardano as well. I did some XRP, some Cardano, and some AVAX.
so my long-term goal, and it's probably not a good thing, but it's a goal, I guess. So it's something that in for the future. But after this bull market, I want to be able to have enough that I can buy not one, but multiple Ethereum. And then my goal for the next bull run after that would be not one Bitcoin, but multiple Bitcoin, and just to keep climbing that ladder. That would be my goal. And so I've got my foot in the door now, and then if I can scoop up some Ethereum, which I think is a good goal, because Ethereum's
Yeah,
thousands of dollars versus, I mean, hundreds of dollars that I've been putting in instead per
yeah,
token.
hmm
Um, I mean, we're talking 55 cents for XRP versus thousands of dollars for a token
yeah.
that
I think it's
Ethereum's
like
at.
2,200 or something, right?
Hey, yeah, it's
Yeah.
24.77 right now.
Okay.
So
Yeah. So yeah, that's great. I like
market
it.
just kind of like hit this huge like V, and then
Yeah.
it like plateaued again. Yes,
Weird.
yes. So um I did talk, or I did hear a little bit. Ben Armstrong, watched some of his video today,
Yeah.
and he was talking about the U.S. adopting XRP in their banks, like
Uh,
universal acceptance, which I think would be really big for XRP. So we haven't heard a whole lot of news coming out from Brad Garlinghouse at all, the owner of
Interesting.
Ripple, CEO of
Yeah.
Ripple. But he is talking about universal acceptance here, like real soon. So banks will be accepting that, which I think would be
That'd be
big,
crazy.
a big gain for XRP and those that
Ooh.
hold that asset. So
Let's do that, please. Yes,
yeah,
please.
yes, please. So if you get a chance, it's like a 5 minute video. He goes a little bit more in depth to it than I could tell you,
Yeah.
but he's super smart with where he's coming from on that. So
Yeah, absolutely. I'll check that out.
yes,
Perfect. Well,
yeah.
hey, I was gonna ask you one other thing. Um, where do cows go to stay updated on events?
Uh, I don't know. Moonshine School.
No,
Moo.
they read the Moose paper. You're on the right track.
Yeah, I had to kind of dig deep for that one. Well, I mean, I kind of took a note out of your or leaf out of your book on that one when I was talking to you earlier about the not the Lamborghini, but the
Subaru.
Subaru.
That's a good one.
Your caribou kind of gave me the idea for that one.
Caribou's pretty funny.
Caribou. Oh, that makes me happy.
They're good.
Okay, well, everybody, if you if you like this channel, if you have dad jokes that you'd like to add, or if you'd like to comment on anything here, if you have more information on any of this stuff, we would love to hear it. We'd love to hear your comments. Hit that
Yeah.
like button.
We're all here to learn and to laugh. That's all we care about. So
Yeah, mostly laugh, but
mostly
but
laugh.
but
Learning
learn is
optional
good too.
if we have to.
Hey, and on that very happy note, when does a farmer dance?
A what farmer dance?
Farmer,
At midnight.
when the beat drops.
Gotcha. So also along the line of beats, what did the farmer do who had a failed crop?
Failed crop.
Yeah.
He stopped watering.
No, he became a rapper because he had some sick beats.
Oh. Hey, that's it, everybody. Have a great night.
Take care.
You're wonderful.